Hey YouTubers, had to go ahead and make another video on Turd-Bo. I had a little bit of surface rust from this engine setting for an undetermined amount of years. I grabbed a can of, which I've never used before, it was given to me, some CRC Knocker Loose. Penetrating solvent, penetrating. It's like a different brand of like PB Blaster. I literally sprayed these cylinders just so I could rotate the engine and try to get some of that penetrating fluid to kind of get down in there and loosen things up and make sure I didn't have any issues. It dissolved the carbon so well when I sprayed the cylinders that I cleaned off probably 75% of the burnt on carbon off the tops of those pistons with just that knocker loose and some paper towels. I was absolutely shocked at how efficiently that knocker loose could melt away carbon, because I thought those pistons were going to be a pain in the neck to try to clean up, but now I can see with the right chemicals you can clean them up and it's not going to be a big problem. I wanted to show not only that just rotating the engine, 5-10 times and using that knocker loose clean all of the surface rust off the cylinders, but that if you look close enough, it's amazing to me, and this camera probably doesn't do it justice, you can still see, excuse me, faint hex marks where they honed this cylinder when they assembled it. And let me remind you, this engine has 110,000 miles on it, and if you look close, you can still see some of the hex marks from when they honed it, which kind of helps me justify possibly re-ringing this engine, because I am absolutely not a fan of driving an engine that smokes under any circumstances, and somehow I just feel I'm going to have a bad time if I try to pull this apart, re-gap these rings, number one, get them on and off the pistons without cracking one of them after they've been heat cycled is pretty challenging. But let's just say we do that efficiently. Is it going to actually have a good enough ring seal to hold back 10 or 12, 14 pounds of boost and not blow by and have smoke? I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me, because I absolutely do not like to drive a vehicle that smokes. But I wanted to point out to you guys, after cleaning the tops of these pistons with some knocker loose and a small brass brush, because I did say that the chemical and paper towels took off about 75%, and then I just went ahead and went over all the piston tops with a brass brush to kind of clean them up. Number 6 cylinder. See if you guys can see all those little, I call them pecker marks. To me, it looks like that number 6 cylinder was detonating way more than the other cylinders. Because I scrubbed that one piston probably 4 times with the brass brush, trying to see if it was just an odd, like a culmination or buildup of carbon or whatever. I'm fairly certain that's all from detonation. I have a little bit of discoloration on this one, number 8 piston. I don't think it's detonation. It almost looks like it maybe had some moisture in it at one time. Still not overly concerned with it. But anytime you see telltale signs of detonation on one or more pistons, you absolutely need to check that bearing. Excessive detonation can cause odd or expedited fast wear of your bearing. So do yourself a favor, if you see a lot of detonation on one or more of your pistons, pull the oil pan and check those rod bearings and make sure you're not in the copper or having a problem. If you like the way that stuff cleaned it up, try that knocker loose and a little bit of a brass brush or something. That does a great job on that carbon. Just wanted to do a quick update on the Turd-Bo.